Now, with this new government in power, tell us how the priority, and if all, the priority has shifted to climate change.
Thank you, Michelle. Michelle, let me say you one thing. Before my government, let's be very clear, and it would not be a justice to tell you the clear situation that climate change or its effects or even water scarcity or the effects of the climate change was never a top priority previously. And the time we took this government in 2018, because we had the history of 2013 forming a government in KP, we started there a billion tree tsunami, and that time people used to make fun of us that how a leader, Prime Minister Imran Khan, who was not a Prime Minister at that time, can talk about planting the trees and afforestation. But when it went huge on the media and when Sparko or the World Economic Forum or the World Bank, and when the bond challenge, when they all acknowledged the billion tree tsunami in KP, it became a hot topic in Pakistan because let's be clear that since 2000 until 2018, Pakistan is one of the most affected country in the region by the climate change and its effects. We have to deal with it. And before that, it was just, like a one-day policy to distribute bags of food between the people, and the disaster is upon us. But before that, we were never serious about it. But the government that we formed in 2018, climate change and its effects, it has become our top priority as our national policy and as our national agenda for the first time in Pakistan. And it's because this is
right, Ms. Kul, hold on to that thought. I do want to state some figures here. It does seem that it is becoming an increasingly important domain for the government because in the 2018 to the 2019 budget, 800 million was supposedly proposed for climate change. It went down to 71 million, but now more than 7,000 million rupees are dedicated to climate change. It does seem like there is more focus on this, but what are the main programs that will be implemented to bring about meaningful and tangible changes?
Michelle, when we talked about the budget, especially when we wanted that the budget should be allocated to our ministry, especially for the climate change, definitely everybody would oppose it, and they would say that climate change is an issue in the world, and the world should help us. But still, when I took over, we in the cabinet, we used to sit and we used to talk to the Prime Minister that no, Pakistan is a responsible country, and we have to behave very responsibly, and we have to take some measure, and we have to allocate the budget. And I have to say that it was again the vision of Prime Minister Imran Khan that he allocated a budget of 7.8 billion.
But let's suppose realistically, if 7,000 million rupees are passed through the parliament for this budget, and what is going to happen next? What are the programs that you hope to put in place that will help mitigate the situation, mitigate the crisis?
We have 3 years program, especially the first thing was that we have to address the climate change and we have to take it seriously. We have to make it a part of our national policy, and successfully we succeeded to make it as our first national policy. The second was to allocate the budget from our first ADP and CHCP, and we became successful there. And the third thing was that where this money has to go. The first thing that we assessed the country, that especially the most cheapest way about the climate change is to mitigate is actually, we already had, I told you, the billion tree tsunami successful project by KP government, by PTI government, so we can replicate it. So what we did, we have a role model there. It was a successful, a flagship program there. So we know our weaknesses and we know our strength basically, because we already implemented that there in a one promise. And after accepting the bond, I think it elevated us with more courage to implement a billion tree tsunami in the whole Pakistan to replicate it. So 7 has to go there. We are going to work on nurseries, work on a green economy. We are working on the green highways and motorways. We are working the second-tier leadership with our youth and our school and colleges. And the third program is going to be, we are going for our religious ulama karam under the President National Islamic Ideology Council. We are going to onboard them, and we are going to get green work from there in Juma prayers to persuade people towards the greeneriness of this country.
All right.
The other thing which we did is 2 billion we allocated for the Clean Green Pakistan, which has to deal with the clean drinking water, water sanitation, and for the behavior change.
Ms. Kulba, we also know that greenery and planting trees, it takes a certain amount of time for us to see tangible benefits emerging. These trees will be planted, they will grow it'll take some time there. But let's talk about the emergency in terms of air quality here. The air quality indexes demonstrate that all major cities in Pakistan are above the safe limit. What do you think needs to be done in order to tackle that?
Earlier question which you actually said was, I tell you, for planting the trees, result is not going to be just 1 day or 2 days. It has to benefit the future of Pakistan and the safe, calamity and disaster-free Pakistan. It will be benefit. I know it's a long-term policy. So we are waiting for that. For the air quality, which you said, it's again a new topic in Pakistan. People were not very conscious about it. If it's like a vehicular problem or if it's emissions.
And what will the government do to bring about that consciousness?
The first thing is that I have to impose myself I tell to the people, I tell to every industry and I tell to every province that you must be familiar, Mishal, with the 18th Amendment in Pakistan. And wherever you go, they say that it's a jurisdiction of the provincial government or it's the local government. There are many overlapping layers of the government. Actually, it's a hideout in a very lame excuse not to work. And I said that, excuse me, we have signed more than 15 international protocols. You are not answerable, but I am. I'm sitting in the government. So you have to make a space for us and you have to listen to us. So it is again a new subject in Pakistan, but I can see that educated class, our students, our corporate sectors and our civil society is actually coming up with a very beautiful idea. And why they are coming with a beautiful idea? It is because they know that their Prime Minister is an environmentalist, he's an anthropologist who speaks about, the greenhouse gases, who talk about billion tree tsunami. So now they are coming up with their ideology. We have very good brains in Pakistan, but we have never had a government ownership. I think this is the right time if we want to mitigate every climate problem. I think this is the right time that civil society has to be on board with the government, and this is very serious and educated government who is very serious about the climate change and its effects. We want to educate our people.
Ms. Kul, just a last question that I'm going to put to you before we let you go is that you're saying that this government is very environmental friendly and they have a more aggressive approach to dealing with this issue. How do you plan to go to the grassroots level, convince farmers to adopt more environmental friendly mechanisms, and how do you plan to facilitate them?
The government level, which I told you, yes, it is a very responsible government. And if you see on any international forum or a national forum, our Prime Minister, third or second sentence or the policy is actually about the climate change. So it has a trickle-down effect about the farmers and about the local people. I tell you, Mishal, they are more educated than us. They are the people who have ground reality. But the only thing is that we never told them that the government should do wonders for them. Actually, they were like abandoned people or farmers. For the 70 years, they've been growing, the same with the same patterns of rainfalls and of the crops, which never actually nobody educated them, and that's why the rain patterns, monsoon, they are all changed. But we never told them about the government responsibility. People are there who want knowledge from us, who want services from us. They are ready to implement, but the only problem was actually that government was not vigilant. So now wherever I go, if it's like colleges, universities, or a farmer, villages, they are on board and they want to listen to us. They need our help. But this is for the first time that we are communicating with them, and you will see that Pakistan will be acknowledged as a very environment and climate change a country which is very vigilant and ready to cope with the climate change.
All right. On that note.